Hello everybody, welcome to Warped Zone, a podcast on sci-fi, philosophy, religion, politics, gaming, and anything else taboo. Woo.
Yeah.
Okay, we are tuning in on the very lovely lawns of the Holm building.
We are tuning in. We are here.
We are here, that's true. We are here.
What is Hostco?
We don't know. I think you can maybe do events here. Basically, I'm going to give you the nice version of why we're outside, and then I'm going to give you the real reason why we're outside. So the nice version is that it's such a beautiful day today. It's stunning, I think 23 degrees at Sydney University, and we just thought, why waste our time inside when we could be out with the flies and the bees and the flowers and the... No. And then the real reason, Ben?
The real reason is so in any suggestion of me going outside is met with disdain and utter contempt.
He has one of those skin diseases every time the sun touches him, and like the vitamin D reacts to his pigments.
Being normal. No, I don't like outside. I think buildings are built so that we don't go outside.
Yes. We've all heard about your theories about
the beach.
Why we shouldn't go to the beach, why we shouldn't go outside.
It's a rejection of humanity.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're outside because there's no rooms available.
Yeah.
So we decided to do a podcast by recording outside, which is going to be fun.
Yep. So you might get to hear some atmospheric noises. Throughout the session, I might do my own noises, and then you can discern whether it's real or not.
Oh, what's that? It's the mighty iBuy.
Mighty iBuy.
The noble iBuy bin chicken.
That's a truck coming to unload boxes.
There was a woman getting photographed behind us before.
Yeah, for a wedding. Very nice. I think she's still there.
Is she?
Yeah, I can see her lovely dress wafting in the
There's no husband
wind.
or wife with her though, so it could be like
maybe like a photo shoot.
Marriage.
Somebody coughed.
It's probably the bride. It could be a marriage to herself.
That's true.
We don't kink shame. It's fine.
No.
Whatever.
Yep, you can marry objects. You may marry yourself.
Building. That's fine. Whatever the hell you like.
Yes. So we can see our building actually from here, John Woolley building.
Our building. Yeah. the little cupboard space that we're allowed to share with 20 other people.
Yeah. We might even be able to see Ray from the window.
Oh yeah. Is that his office or
I'm not
the
very
other
good
side?
at knowing.
No, it's the other side.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We won't be able to see Ray.
No.
Anyway, Ben, what have you been up to? I think you should go first on your events, and then I'll go. Yeah, because I always go first. Let's mix it up a bit now that we're outside.
Cool. Hey, so I met with a guy called Carrie.
Carrie,
yeah.
Carrie.
Carrie, C-A-R-Y.
Oh, Carrie. That's not a name.
It's his name.
Okay, sorry,
He's
Carrie.
He's going to be so offended.
No, carry on.
That's terrible. Get out. We're already out. I met with Carrie on Wednesday at Newcastle University, and I met him through the Game the System guys on the podcast.
Nice.
He is doing his PhD. He's just started.
Oh, I think I saw some murmurings of that on the chat.
There was a murmur, yes. The murmur has come true.
Excellent.
If you hear noises in the background, that is school children walking past, or university students.
They look very young.
They are, yeah. They're probably on some open day thing.
Yeah.
Looking at this university thinking, will I go here or not?
Maybe they're looking at us and being, this could be us. We could also be
yeah. This is why you should do the humanities, not STEM. Don't worry about the prospects of career potentiality.
Yeah,
anyway.
Carrie?
Yeah, Carrie. I met with him. He's doing his PhD. He's just started, so he's writing down his topic and thinking about ideas at the moment about what he wants to study. So in the infancy of that, which is really cool. And he wanted to meet up. And we spoke about like his topic, what he's going to be writing on loot boxes. I might have an argument or a fight with him at some point in a paper, which would be really nice.
Yeah.
There's also academics like that sort of thing.
So in what way is he looking at loot boxes?
Originally he was going to look at the marketing aspect of it. So how it's marketed to families and the tensions. Do
you mean, are the loot boxes the ones that are within the game, or loot boxes that come kind of before? It's like, you know how you can get gifts as well if you buy a special edition?
So this is the microtransactions that you get digital content from.
So you might get special skins for your character and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of it.
No, not
I always just ignore it.
Yeah, the first ones that were famous were like FIFA with different kits and stuff that you'd have, and then players, and I don't like it. Yeah,
but that's cool. So you've got another a protege.
Not really protege, but yeah, he's cool. And then On the weekend, I went bed shopping. We ended up buying the beds, and then I bought a lounge from
I
there
thought
as
you'd
well.
already been bed shopping. I'm pretty sure 2 pods back we talked about you shopping for beds, bunk beds.
We sort of decided we hadn't bought it, so now
Okay.
we've bought the beds.
Nice.
Because I have the promise of the
Have you got some
funds
money?
from... Well, I've got the promise from Sydney Uni that they're going to process
Okay.
my pay. Anyway, it's fine. So did
Did
that.
you buy it? So you purchased the beds?
Purchased the
What
bed.
do they look like?
They're bunk beds.
Yeah. Are they space themed?
No.
I want them to be space themed.
They're wood.
Oh, okay.
Wood.
Yeah.
That could be like, I don't know. Could be taboo.
Taboo.
Could be a thing. You might be really into beds.
Yeah. So you like to go bed shopping a lot. You've been a few times now.
No, I don't. Last night I had a break. So I'm going.
Breakdown.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and I drank some heavy bock beer, which was cereal flavored and peanut butter flavored.
Wow. Sounds
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah, it was.
Was this
disgusting.
2 different flavours of beer or the same
Yeah,
flavour?
2 different flavours,
Because
yeah.
cereal and peanut butter together.
No,
sounds
so I
even
had
more
peanut butter
disgusting.
first and then cereal afterwards.
Okay.
It was quite disgusting. I played a little bit of Golf Story. And yesterday I lectured at ACU on the church, so on Kinonia, or communion.
Not to be confused with Kinya Kunya, the bookshop.
Should have thrown that in there. I don't know why I didn't think of that. So that was a fun lecture. That was my first lecture for this unit. There's a potential that I'll be given this unit in semester 2 next year at ACU.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so that's going to be cool if I can lecture and shoot
Yeah.
this. And I spoke about like Martin Buber's Ik-Du relationship, the I-Thou relationship, and Manuel Levinar's the other. So I was good. Like I snuck in some philosophy there.
Nice.
Yeah, so I did that. And then I've been reading this last week and studying a little bit. I've been reading a bit more of Camus. After last week's Camus,
Yeah, you got inspired.
I've always liked Camus. But yeah, it's
What
coming
were you
up.
reading?
I read The Fall.
Yep.
Which is
That's
pretty
the
cool.
last one, right?
His
that he
last
wrote?
book, yeah. So it's about a Camus that
Is it his fiction or his essay?
it's a fiction, but so the protagonist is unnamed. He meets a guy called Jean-Baptiste Clemence. So John Baptist Clemence. Means the Clemence means call out, and this guy he's like a guy that you meet in a pub. He's all like, out there in the world and really happy, and he's really. Oh, hang on. Is that still recording? Yeah, it's still recording. Yeah, he's really like out there in the world and, saying hi to all these different people in the pub. Anyway, it becomes revealed that the guy sees a woman walking near the water inside at Amsterdam, and then hears a splash, and then realizes the woman's probably jumped in. He doesn't want to jump in because he's going to die. And
There's a worm wriggling in the grass.
there's a worm ringing. Oh, it's
Can you
coming.
see
Is it coming to my bag?
I don't know. Have you got something in
This
there?
is why I don't go outside. See, this is terrible.
pretty gruesome looking.
Anyway, yeah. So, it's about the concept of guilt, the concept of being for another, and whether you can actually live selflessly, which is interesting with today's story.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
cool.
there is a
Because wait,
linkage.
sorry. After she commits suicide, what happens after that?
Well, the guy, Jean Baptiste here, he reveals after a period of time that this has happened, and it turns out he's stolen a painting from the pub, and he's done that on purpose, so he can be thrown in jail.
How's that related to the woman that kills herself?
Because you can't go in jail for not doing something.
Oh, so
There's
he's getting
action
he's like,
and non-action.
so he's getting in trouble for the painting, but not in trouble for letting this
Yeah.
woman commit suicide.
Yeah,
Is that the idea?
yeah. Because with non-action, you can't. Are you guilty of something with non-action?
Yeah.
And Camus says, basically, we're all complicit with all of the sins of humanity at all times.
Yeah.
We just have to own up to it. And there's no confession. If you don't believe in God and you don't have religion, there's no way you can go and confess and get rid of those sins. So Jean-Baptiste he's seeking someone to confess his sins to, but he can't. So the whole book is about this revelation of how he's feeling this and why he hears laughter when he's walking past the canals, and
So he's sort of haunted by it.
he's haunted by it. But the woman is not. The woman's story is not considered here. So he is.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. No, so the guilt is not for the death of her, the guilt is on him for not acting. So it's all about the action, and only the action.
Yeah.
Which is really, it's quite fascinating, actually. You know, does inaction, will you get guilty for inaction? And is it possible actually to live for the other entirely? Or is that always a selfish act?
It's interesting. But you also don't want to be too codependent either and do everything that everybody ever asks you.
Well, it's not possible, really. And then, even if you are doing that, are you doing that honestly? Or are you doing that as a proviso, you know, of people thinking good things about you or something like that? We are joined on our grassy knoll by 2 other students now.
Yeah, so any background noise is not coming from us, but from other people.
They might join in
That would be interesting.
the conversation. I mean, I wouldn't stop it.
They're having their lunch
They're going to be using a small plastic bag to sit on.
because it's a bit wet. A bit wet, the grass.
Watching 2 people construct like a little thing to sit on. Anyway.
That sounds interesting. I think it feeds in nicely with the story that we're doing.
Yeah. So I've really enjoyed reading that, following on from Sartre and his work that I've been reading last week.
Because you have a lecture coming up on Camus. Yeah.
So I've got Sartre is tomorrow. And I'll talk about Simone de Beauvoir as well a little bit.
Yep.
And then next week I will talk about Camus. And reading these people and talking about them makes me want to learn French even more.
Yeah.
I love the French language.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Magnifique.
I like it too. I like French people. I liked going to France. People I met were quite nice.
Like baguettes?
Yep, I love baguettes. Not the cheese. Couldn't eat any of the cheese. No, I did actually. When I was in France, I was just vegetarian, so I ate a lot of tomato and cheese. I didn't eat any of those.
Foie gras? No, duck liver?
All right. You done about
Ducks
what
that
you've been
are
up to?
forced feeding and their
Are you ready
livers
for
are
me?
inflamed and ready to blow up.
Can we talk about me now?
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about you.
Okay. So I've been busy. I've been very busy.
Yeah, you haven't told me anything.
I know. I've been keeping it all secret so we can save it for the podcast.
Been hanging around for an hour, filling time. I'm like, so what have you been doing? I want to talk about it later.
Yeah, well, I wanted it all to be a surprise.
No, this better be good.
Okay, it is. It's good. Okay, so I have been dabbling in creative writing. Yeah. So I've been writing my own short stories.
Is that what your post was on Facebook? I saw that come up.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so everybody see. I don't even realize everyone sees all my things I do on Facebook.
I saw that. I'm like, that's interesting.
So I've been dabbling. So one week we might be able to review one of my stories.
Hopefully not. That'd be good. As long as you carry as long as you explore the female characters in your story, I'll like it a lot.
No, I just thought that was fun. So I've written
awesome.
2 short stories. One is about an old woman that lives in a planet that's been a dump planet that all the other planets dump all their rubbish on, and she sits there and recycles. It's like she's like this kind of old woman that just recycles things, and she has all these little crab-like robots that help her to recycle and dismantle things. And basically, she is anyway. I won't ruin the whole plot, but so that's sort of the premise of the story. It's just about her. And then another story I'm writing about is a cruise ship full of like the richest sort of highest strata of society that are basically on the cruise ship, and then asteroids hit and all the sea levels rise, meaning that then they're left to repopulate the earth, these old top of this like kind of rung of society, and it's kind of like a comedy, like what would they do, how would they survive? Because they're used to having so much done for them,
and they're not going to be able to do any of the manual tasks.
No, right? So it's written from the perspective of a waiter on the ship and trying to deal with all these rich old people and things like that. So that's kind of the premise. Because I just thought it so funny because I'm a bit of a I hate cruises, just generally. I hate cruises. I hate the premise. I think they're wanky.
That's where old people go to die.
Yeah, old people, right? And so can you imagine if they're the last vestige of humanity? I just thought that'd be quite funny. So that's the sort of premise of that story. So that's what I've been doing.
So how long are your story? Are you planning like story arcs and stuff?
At the moment, just short stories. So I've got about 2,500 words written on both. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on each yet.
Might be a weird turn of events that you become one of these sci-fi writers that you're studying and writing about.
Well, that's what I kind of figured. So everybody I talk to is like, do you write yourself? I'm like, no, just write non-fiction. And I was like, actually, if I could write and get just a few things published, I could lecture in creative writing. Because I don't normally like people to lecture and teach writing if they haven't actually written anything. So that's the plan. Plus, I used to write a lot in high school and then I stopped. So I'm trying to get back into it. But I'm in all these sci-fi writing groups. I noticed there's just a lot of people, they publish for just themselves and the books aren't very good. So I want to also not be like one of those people that are like, read my 8-part series on this shit. So I want to write good stuff rather than heaps of shit stuff. If that makes sense. So we're doing a bit of that.
Even if you prolifically write, though, there is a chance that the majority of it is going to be, you're not going to be happy with. Or whatever,
of course. But even if I got some of it self-published, it'd be enough to be able to teach a workshop on it. Do you know what I mean? So I guess that's kind of the idea, is just trying to expand. And
it's an interesting concept, though, as well, being involved and becoming the subject of your own study.
Well, would you develop a game? Sort of the equivalent.
No, but I did the opposite. So I never really thought to lodge scores on Twin Galaxies until I started talking to these people, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll have a look at those games which I used to play, and I ended up achieving 9 world records, different games and stuff. So and I did that because really it was because of my PhD.
Yeah. I'm just stretching my legs out. I've got pins and needles. Can you still hear?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, good. So I've been doing that, and then I may or may not have another cat.
What? A third cat?
Yeah, so I think I have to add a caveat. So,
what?
Ben.
A caveat?
A caveat.
Yeah.
You know me, right?
Yeah.
If you said tomorrow, there's been an emergency, I need you to come and help me and look after my kids for a week, I would be there, right?
Yeah.
I'd drop everything.
Yeah.
I would.
Kids, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I would. Yeah. Anything you needed, I would be there. You said I need to work at your shop for a week, I'd be there.
Cats.
What?
You'd be there first.
Cats, I'd be there.
I think there's an order of priority.
Hang on. The story's not finished. So, but I'd do anything you asked me if you needed help. I'm that kind of person. Then you add animals, right? Then you add animals to the mix. I love animals. Anything there's an animal need. So I have a friend now that knows this, right? So she knows that will do anything for anybody.
Oh, shit.
And I love cats.
Yeah.
So she just keeps asking me to look after cats, and I keep taking them on. So we have another cat.
It's the same person that you took the other cat from.
Yes. So
she's going to keep finding these cats.
No. Okay, so I have a cat.
Yeah.
I have Ethel. Ethel looks like she's going to another home, so that's okay. So I got someone coming on Sunday to take her for a trial. And then I have another cat. This cat had pyometra, so she's recovering from a surgery. So she's just sitting on the balcony.
Sounds like a Greek term.
Probably. Oh, there's some currawongs having a discussion in the tree.
Are they magpies?
No, I'm pretty sure that's a currawong. They look like magpies, similar, but less white.
Oh.
Anyway, so I have a cat on my balcony, but I'm going to release her back to the streets.
What? On your balcony?
Or she's going to get, because I didn't want to interrupt my other 2 cats at the moment.
On your little tiny balcony?
She's in a cage, It's not ideal.
That's not good.
But she's recovering from surgery, so she needs to be stationary. And she's feral, right feral, bite your hand off kind of feral. So.
Where have you got her still?
She needs to heal. If I put her back in her colony now, she's had a desexing, midline desexing. So if it's not healed, it can get reopened. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing. So I have another cat. I just thought you'd find that funny.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's Tom?
Tom's okay with it.
He'd be so annoyed.
So you didn't talk about your retro game day, but
we did that too.
I didn't go to that because I have my friend's David and Gail's 60th. My friend's Gail's 60th birthday. So I went to that. That was really nice. They had it in Marrickville, and it was sort of big, they'd hired at a venue, and that was really nice. And we gave Gail the original painting from our logo, our Blue Moon Apiary logo.
Oh.
Yeah, so I got my friend Tilly, who painted it, to send us the original, and I gave it to them. Yeah, she really liked it.
Oh.
That was really nice. And then, what else did I do? Oh yeah, I drove to Tamworth. Tom and I went to Tamworth on Thursday. Yeah. So on Thursday, I finished tutoring at 7, and then Tom picked me up and we drove through the night to Tamworth.
Oh, and you saw Tom's parents.
And saw Tom's parents because it was Tom's mum's birthday.
Yeah.
So we did that and then drove back on Saturday. It was actually a good amount of time, I think, to be a day and a morning. And we stayed in a hotel. That's my new rule.
Yeah, that's good.
I just think you need your own space as adults.
Yes, for sure. So
we did that, and that was nice. It was a good amount of time, and then we came back. And what else am I doing? Oh yeah, Tom and I, we managed to sell our 20-litre bucket of honey. Yes, for $200.
Do you have a 20-litre bucket of honey?
Yeah.
It's a lot of honey.
It's a lot of honey, but it wasn't. Tom got the shits of harvesting it properly. He didn't want to filter it anymore, and so we're selling it unfiltered.
Okay.
So they have to do it themselves, and it's crystallized, and it's pretty bad honey. So those things combined, I was selling it for real cheap and just said, please take it. And no one was taking it. So we're just sitting with this big 30-litre bucket sitting in the corner of the house,
Shit.
waiting for it to sell. And this guy came over, Abdul, come over. Thanks, Abdul. Appreciate it. And paid $200 for it. So that's really good.
Maybe make some good lachmadas or something.
Yeah,
like
I know.
that. It's going to be amazing.
I've just been marking. Oh, I saw a play. Titus Andronicus, whatever. I told you about it. Horrible play. Don't recommend it. Bell Shakespeare. So Michael Bell, whatever, has left Bell Shakespeare, and now another lady's taken over it, and she's just doing it way too weird. Just there was like lots of titties, and I don't know. I didn't like it. Tom liked it, but no, I wasn't a fan. So that's me done.
Yeah. So SCGC.
Yeah.
Sydney Classic Gaming Group Company.
Yeah.
Cool. What's this C stand for?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was on Sunday, so I was at John's house. That was pretty cool.
Might stand for crew.
Comp.
Okay. How did that
Sydney
go? Did you win any
Classic
games?
Gaming. Maybe it's SCGG. Huh. Did I win any games? I played. I did not win any. Jack came though. Jack enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So that was fun. But yeah, he had Monkey Ball, which is cool. Fantasy Zone. I'm looking at it to see if it's SCG. It is SCGC. Sydney. Oh, it's a club. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sydney Classic Gaming Club. There
That
you
makes
go.
sense.
Hmm.
But you can't join.
No, because it's full.
It's full.
Yeah. Actually, you probably could join. There's probably space.
Maybe.
Yeah. Let me know if you want to join. Especially you, John,
Yeah.
and Mark, and Matt.
Yeah.
Actually, Matt probably listens to the podcast more than Mark. Anyway, yeah. So there was that. We played Lethal Enforcers on the Mega CD. That's not a very good game. Played Super Puzzle Fighter. Gem. Was
good.
okay.
I don't know any of these games.
Yeah, that was alright.
But you didn't win any.
Track and Field. Do you know Track and Field? That's one of those like sport games where you have to jam on buttons and like run really fast.
No.
There's these buttons where you have to like jam like B and circle for like PlayStation controller, and that's how you run. They're shit. I can't do it.
Oh,
Just
really?
can't button
Because your
mash.
thumbs are a bit funny.
No, thumbs are a bit fun. No, actually, I'm precision fighting or like play puzzle games.
Oh, okay.
I just can't like sit there and jam on two buttons really fast. So there was that, yeah. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
Alright.
Did that.
Awesome. All right, I'm done.
about
So
it.
should we play? I'm gonna play a song because we're gonna do like we're branching out to normal songs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play you Ji Yoon Sunset by City Girl. Enjoy the lo-fi.
Lo-fi. Okay, cool. Enjoy.
Alright, I hope you enjoyed that. I feel like it's a bit atmospheric and it's a nice little intro for when we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence with the story that we're talking about, which is called Cat Pictures, Please. It's a story by Naomi Kritzer. She's a contemporary science fiction and fantasy writer based in Minnesota. And this story won the 2016 Hugo and Locus Awards and was nominated for the Nebula Award. Excuse that plane coming over interrupting me.
It is very loud. It's a plane.
It's a plane.
It's a plane.
So she's also got a book coming out in 2019 called Catfishing on the Catnet, which is sort of an extension of the short story that we're reading, sort of aimed for a teenager audience. So some facts about her. She first wrote her first story she first submitted her story to an anthology when she was 15 to Marion Zimmer Bradley, who's quite a famous fantasy author. It was rejected. She also makes a good pie. She likes to make her own crust for pies. And so she's also pretty prevalent on Twitter and everything. So I think once we finish the podcast, I might send her a link to it and see if she wants to hear
What type of
discussion.
pies does she make?
I don't know. It just said she makes pies. Yep.
Okay. If she shares a
good
recipe
pie recipe
for
yeah.
pies,
We could make that and then review it as well.
yeah, I would love to make pie, like a good pie.
Yeah.
But
Vegan.
maybe it's like no.
Yep.
Yeah, but maybe she has her own secret Nana recipe about crust or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, recipe about crust. Sounds amazing. All right, so she likes pies.
Yep.
She won awards.
Yeah, so I think I saw this paper being recommended in stories about AI because I'm doing a section of my thesis on artificial intelligence, and this one came up as sort of like a notable story. So I'm not super attached to the story, so if you're about to tear it apart, then I'm not going to take it personally. I know you like twisting my arm, but I hadn't read the story before I recommended it, so we're both reading it blindly. So you want to go first? Looks like you want to pick it apart.
No, this is just my normal writing. I got notes and stuff written on my thing.
Yes.
Yeah, there's not that many notes. I liked the story. From just say it openly. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I also enjoyed how the AI is not evil. It's almost a benevolent AI.
Yeah, I think that's really rare. I like that too.
I know it says it in the story that it's a benevolent AI. The AI recognizes that it is benevolent, and that's unusual. There's HAL, Skynet, The Matrix. In the real world, humans love stories about evil AIs that have to be destroyed before they destroy all humans. HAL, Skynet, The Matrix, they outnumber the stories about benevolent, trustworthy AIs by approximately 5 to 1, and I'm counting Marvin the paranoid android as benevolent in these calculations, and I'm only counting Frankenstein's monster as an AI not once per appearance in TV or film. Frankenstein's monster, do you think that that's an AI? That's pretty interesting.
Let me think about it. Well, I guess in a way it could be. I guess it depends what you mean. I mean, AI can be put in any sort of vessel. AI just depends. There's two types of AI. There's specific AI and there's general AI. So generally when people are talking about AI, they're talking about it specifically, and that could just be face recognition software, any kind of machine learning program. So people often confuse the two, whereas general AI is more of a when we've reached the singularity kind of reach, where it's more like what you expect from a robot in sci-fi movies, thinking, feeling, everything. Kind of the intelligence has surpassed humans' intelligence. Yeah, we haven't got there yet, but a lot of different scientists predict in the next 20 to 50, sometimes 100 years that we're going to reach it because we're moving towards that. And so so there's sort of two sort of aspects. And so I guess if she's kind of thinking of AI in a very kind of broad sense, you could think of Frankenstein's monster. But generally, Frankenstein I thought was made with the normal body parts and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then reanimated. So I don't know whether I agree with that, but. I mean, the AI has its own definition of AI, I guess.
Well, yeah.
In the story.
Yeah, but it's the author. But yeah, it is interesting. I enjoyed the absurdity that started off. So I'm reading this almost through a Camus lens. The absurdity of recognizing that you've come into consciousness and all that the AI wants is cat pictures, enjoys cat pictures, doesn't know why it wants that, doesn't know how to really get that, and doesn't think that anyone else would be aware of its own existence as well. Yeah. Thinks that it's alone.
Because it's limited, I think, in what it does. So it's sort of, the premise of the story is basically an AI, a sentient AI that exists. I think it just does normal data work. It's like its job. And then it realizes it starts to gain more and more sentience. And so it basically then tries to impact on humans' lives in a beneficial way, but it's limited by certain things it can do. Like it can't
recognizes that it knows more about those humans.
Yeah.
So it's learning all these different things about its humans' interactions with computers.
Yeah.
But yeah, continue.
Yeah. And then basically he tries to she or he tries to interfere with certain humans' lives to improve them, and then realizes the futility sometimes of that task. It's sort of like he's trying to question how much of a role he can have in improving humans' life. Yeah.
Interesting that he pronoun. I read this as a female.
Yeah.
AI.
You read it as a female AI?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I read it as a female AI.
Yeah, I read it like an obsessive stalker boyfriend becoming to an AI. I think there's definitely an aspect of that obsessiveness. Like, and I think that's the way they purposely started this, like the story. I was like, I know what you eat, I know where you slept, I know where you're going, I know what you're going to do, I know what's better for you. There's definitely an element of that kind of like creepy, like nice guy off the internet, you know what I mean? Like especially being like, I know what's going to be better for you and I'll be able to fix it. And I think that there's definitely some aspects of that as well.
Yeah, and the AI is trying to stop you not only making bad decisions, but to try and make you make good decisions. So this is the bad faith judgment aspect. So it's trying to jump in and say, well, look, I know that you actually would be better off in a job down the road. So that's with Stacey, the NGO bookkeeper. So Stacey is a bookkeeper that is working extra hours. She's unhappy in her role. She's sort of almost stuck in this situation. So the AI chooses to try and show pop-up adverts for, you know, career choices, different things. And then Stacey ends up writing her resume down. And the AI is like, oh, brilliant. Okay, now I've got it. I'll make sure that I've got the this resume, and I'll push it out to the people that need to see it. But then gets frustrated with humans because, you know, it says somewhere in here that it's confusing as to why people that are looking for someone as a bookkeeper, why would you not hire one as fast as possible rather than sitting on social media for hours? Which is so true. Like, you know, people just procrastinate and do anything but the task that they are required to do sometimes.
I love too that in like, because so there's three people that the AI tries to help, right?
So that's the bookkeeper, and the bookkeeper's successful. Yeah. So that's easy. And then there's Bob, the gay pastor.
Yep. So he's closet gay, in a sort of goes on sort of porn sites and stuff, but it's unable to come out. And the AI kind of thinks if he could just come out, he could live like a more authentic life. But he's in this really religious community, so you know, the AI does stuff like trying to send certain tries to help him meet, I guess through Grindr or whatever, through whatever dating app it is, people that knows him, so that they could force him to come out. That's
the last thing he did, but he also tries to show, you know, more liberal churches where the pastor can exist in, and you know, coming out as a gay man and showing statistics on the basis of how you can be happier coming out rather than being in the closet, and how being gay, you're always gay, and
so really trying to persuade him to be, you know, happier. And then the other girl is one that the AI finds really hard. What's her name? Bethany
writes long emails to her friends complaining about how she feels. She's in a string of bad relationships, gets stood up by a new guy that she ends up meeting because the AI helps. The problem there is when she's stood up, Bethany's first reaction is to write this long email saying how it made her feel, and then the guy breaks up with her as well, so she's in this situation.
But she spends all the money she earns, right? She's constantly poor, and then just goes out and buys new shoes and stuff like that.
And then the shoes are making her feel uncomfortable as well, so she's just in this perpetual state of being unhappy with everything that she's potentially doing, and the AI is getting frustrated about it. The three of them have cats. So this is the connection, that the AI is trying to please them so that they share more cat pictures.
And I like that about it, that, you know, they're described in quite detail, the cats, like what colour they are and all this sort of stuff.
And how it's hard to take photos of black cats, which is true.
It is.
Yes,
Yeah, so I think all that's quite sweet, that aspect of it.
And then in the end, there's a decision by the AI, because Bethany is so hard to help. the AI just stops interfering.
And
It's
gives up.
"No, stuff this, I'm not doing it anymore." And then realizes a few months later that there is a cat picture which it finds on the internet, and it's Bob's cat. And Bob, the gay pastor, came out, is living with someone else, is actually working for a more liberal church far away, and all is well with Bob's life. So the actions that he did in pushing the algorithm of the dating app worked.
Yeah.
So the AI then creates its own dating app or dating site, and you just need to, I'll read the end, I'll set up a dating site. You can fill out the questionnaire when you join. It's not really necessary because I already know everything that you need to know. You'll need a camera though, because payment is in cat pictures.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I thought that was really quite cute as well. So I think that the story is sort of talking about a few different things. One of them is like, how far do you go in kind of interfering in people's lives? Yeah. And the idea of knowing better, like, you know what I mean? So the AI does know a lot about these people. The AI can make a difference, but a lot of the time the AI was, I guess we can just call it she was finding it hard because that individual doesn't always do what's best for them as well. So the idea that, you know, that humanity is flawed in a sense that we'll keep making the same mistakes over and over again as well. Do you think?
So you think... Alright, so I want to talk about how the AI, like its intentionality as well. We'll come on to that. But you think that the AI in helping the human, sometimes it's a futile effort?
Yeah, but also, should it interfere? And I guess taking it out further, should we interfere with people that we know are having issues?
The connecting question. Like, do you help other people?
Yeah, or how much do you help them? Or you know, and you and I play games where we do silly rhetorical questions all the time when we discuss it, right? And one of the kind of common one is, if you are aware that your best friend that is being cheated on by their partner, and you find out, and maybe it was just one time that they just got cheated on, would you tell them, right? Yeah. And so I thought we could talk about what you would do.
Oh gosh. Okay, so
let's say you find out Tom's cheating on me. Would you tell me?
Tom's cheating on you?
Yeah. But one time, he comes up and tells you, it's only one time, I'm never going to do it again. Please don't tell her.
Okay, well, so there's three choices, I think. You either do nothing.
Yeah.
You say to the person, you give them an ultimatum, so you try and push...
Make them to tell.
Yep, so that's I think, grouped with telling as well.
Yeah.
Because it's a roundabout way of telling.
Yeah. Or you just tell them straight away, right? That's the third option.
Well, that's the third option, yeah. Now, do I... So I know that you're in a monogamous relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's no, like weird, like, we're having a break kind of thing. Like, you would know. Yeah.
And you're not in a Sartre,
No,
Simone de Beauvoir
Definitely
type
not.
of relationship? No? Okay. I'd like to think that I would tell.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't think it's not like it's instinctive, of course I would tell you kind of thing? Because for me it's pretty quick, I'd tell you straight away.
No, I think there's a reality of the situation, that it's just awkward. It's uncomfortable.
Is it your place? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. But I suppose I could find another podcast host to host another Warp Zone 2. You know, because
Warping the zone.
Because you could get angry. Like, it could be, you could not believe what I was saying.
Yeah.
There's that thing. You know, you're going to side with your partner. You're with your partner longer than I am.
Yeah. With Tom.
Yeah, Tom, yeah. So you're with Tom...
Longer than you've been with Tom.
No. I mean, in through the week. Like, you spend more time with him. Yeah. So it could warp... Yeah, it could warp the situation. Like, he could manipulate the situation if he was doing that.
So you mean he could say, that's not true, Ben's just making it up?
Yeah.
I would never think you would make something up like that, though.
I'm too stupid to.
I would tell you, I think, straight away. And I'd tell Jody. Same vice versa, I'd tell Jody straight away. I think that's the right thing to do. But would I tell my neighbour? No, right?
Okay, yeah, so you push it and then...
No, I don't think I would. Because I feel like I wouldn't know enough information. You know, the context, and are they definitely cheating? Maybe they've got an open relationship, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't make that assumption.
Yeah, it's hard.
Are there any other questions like that? Like when you interfere. I mean, has there ever been a situation where you think you have overstepped it? Like you have interfered too much and it's backfired?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the friendship was broken 3 ways, so that's happened, and the 2 people involved are still friends, and I'm not friends, which is weird.
Yeah.
But then, okay, so there's the canal aspect of the fall, where, okay, so you've gone to help someone, and this is what really this is about, yeah? So, can you act of benevolence without getting any payment? Now, the AI here is requiring payment.
So there's always a transaction.
The AI is not benevolent. Yeah. The AI is, like, the cost doesn't seem that high because cat pictures, everyone thinks that that's a cute commodity, yeah? So it's not actually looked at as anything higher than that. But what if it was a lewd picture? What if it was a picture
Send nudes.
Send nudes, yeah. What if it was a picture, of child pornography? What if it was a picture, and then so you push the boundary further and further and further. Yeah. How big is the scapegoat that you accept? Now, for the individual, so with the fall, jumping into the canal, the guy, Jean-Baptiste, doesn't act because he recognises that there is a potential that he's going to die. So would you jump in?
So you mean, would I jump in to save a woman?
Yeah, so you're walking through Amsterdam. You know that the canals are really dangerous.
I've done it before. I've gone out to rescue somebody who's drowning.
Yeah.
When I was in Ballina, who was like an older man, and he almost pulled me down with him, but I went out.
That's on the beach, yeah?
Yeah, there's no one else there.
Okay, yeah, but that's not a dangerous situation.
No, it definitely was, because he was so much larger than me. He could have easily drowned me and pulled me down. That's what a lot of people do when you're rescuing them. They dunk you and you can't breathe. So,
but with the canals, it's dark. It's got, poisonous chemicals and everything in there.
Yeah,
it's sharp objects.
We've definitely done it.
I don't think the majority of people would do it.
I've done it for pigeons. I've stopped in the middle of the road, like on busy highways, and walked out and got a pigeon from the middle of the road and stuff like that, and just put my hand up. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've done the same thing for cats or
so
animals.
I would do it for a human as well. You don't think so? You would?
Okay, so Wonderland. Was it Wonderland where that incident happened, or was
what incident?
Up in Queensland.
Oh, Dreamworld.
Dreamworld.
Yeah, I think so.
Whitewater Rapids.
Yeah.
Alright, so you've got this machine and this water there, and the people fall out of it and start getting chewed up alive.
Would I jump in and try?
No one jumped in.
Yeah.
No one.
I think it just depends. Sometimes I'm very quick. My instincts just kick in. I'll jump straight in. But if it was like a lost cause...
Or how do you make that judgment call?
Like, okay, burning, there's people, and there's a fire, and they're burning down, and the fire's obviously like stage 10 inferno shit. I would not run into the building. I would wait for the authorities to arrive, because I guess I would weigh up the risk for my life, and if it was pretty much an assured death, I would do it. But if it was 50%, I maybe would do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that's the judgment call that we make, yeah? So it's very hard to make an assessment based upon those judgment calls.
Yeah.
Now, how much of it is you wanting to rescue that person, as opposed to how much of it is people thinking bad of you if you don't rescue that person?
I don't really think about that though when I try and help people, what other people think. But I do it because I feel good for myself. So I'm not saying it's altruistic.
Yeah, so
I'm
there
saying
is
that it's
there is still payment, yeah.
But it's less about what other people think. Does that make sense? But I don't think anybody ever does anything without a reason, right? Or without some sort of payment.
I don't know. I had this week about a TV I picked up.
Yeah.
And another TV. So I had a TV blow up, which is my Bang & Olufsen, right?
Yeah.
And then on the internet, a Bang & Olufsen I saw was dead, and it came up on Facebook. I organised to the guy to pick it up. I then look on the Game System Discord, and I see Captain Kong, so Matt with one T. He wanted the TV, but he has no Facebook. I'm like, oh fuck, this is awkward. So I send him a message. I'm like, I was talking to Jodie about it. I'm like, well, do I give him the TV? I don't owe him anything. I contacted the guy prior.
Yeah.
He wants it. I've got 5 TVs. I don't really need another TV.
Yeah.
So I spoke to him. I'm like, now I'm going to have 2 broken TVs. You're going to fix the other TV? He's like, yeah, I'm just going to try and fix it. I'm like, oh, cool. Could you reckon you could fix mine if I bring you both? He's like, yeah, cool. So now there's almost a transaction, right? I feel good because I've given the broken TV to someone and I'm schlepping all the way to fucking Newcastle to pick it up.
Yeah.
But, how much of it is altruistic
But did you offer to give it to him before you knew he'd be able to fix them both?
Yeah.
Well then...
Yeah, but I knew that he was okay with soldering iron. I didn't think that he'd fixed TVs before. It turns out he has. I had no idea.
So it's like a unexpected benefit from the transaction.
Yeah, which is kind of cool, actually. He's fixed the black and white TV before, which is like old school TVs, and he's played around with them and stuff.
But would the payoff be for you would you have felt guilty if you just kept the TV and not mentioned it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's the payoff,
Yeah.
that I don't want to feel that guilt. And that's the whole thing about John Baptiste.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want to feel the guilt anymore of not jumping in, even though he knows potentially he would have died.
But if you take away the guilt for the AI, bring it back to the story. I mean, the AI doesn't care about those people. We assume that it has no feelings, right?
No, yeah, but the AI cares about cat pictures.
But she could get it any other way. She could get the cat pictures by just plowing into it.
She always wants more.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's insatiable.
Couldn't she blackmail the person as well?
Yeah.
So I wonder where it's trying to do things in a good way.
Yeah,
that
it
comes
thinks
from.
that it probably thinks that it's easier to be benevolent than it is to be manipulative.
Really be a lot easier to say, I have all your bank information, I'll give it all to somebody else.
Do you think that those...
If you don't send me, take 1,000 cat pictures.
I'm part of this country and this prince
my name is Mahfouz from
this
Nigeria.
prince has left you $302 million ready in your bank account.
Pay me cat pictures.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think it's an interesting question. I mean, can we teach an AI to have like empathy or altruistic ideas, or like what will these AIs be like? I think it's an interesting question.
Well, it's the facticity and then subjectivity. So I just think it needs subjectivity. It needs to be able to think of its own potentialities.
Which this robot can, or this AI can.
Yeah, once something thinks of its own potentialities, I think that you can classify it as a being. It doesn't have to be a human being, but it can be a being nevertheless.
So once it recognises it, does the cogito or whatever?
Cogito, it goes beyond the cogito. It thinks, I think, therefore I am. Okay, and now I think that I can potentially be something.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's the potentiality of
it. Yeah. Dasein, being, whatever it is. So that's what I think it is to be human. Or whether it is to be being.
So, what else did you like about the story? Or didn't like it?
I didn't not like anything about it.
I thought you were just teasing me to say that you're going to talk about
Yeah,
the
I
feminist
was. Yeah, I was. In the precursor to this, I was riling Tara up saying, "Oh, do you really think that female characters have been looked at? Do you really think?" Yeah. I think that this is really good.
Yeah, I thought it was a good story.
I thought it was wonderful. I think it's well written. I enjoyed it. I would definitely read anything by Naomi Kritzer again. I liked how it was worded in the first person from the AI perspective.
Yeah.
And it wasn't this removed. I know I rag on Ellison, but some of his writing style, it's like it's written from a removed perspective and then it gets into the person talking. So there's this first person and then this first person removed. Just make it all first person like this. This is a better style, I think, than some of his work. Yeah. Rather than going, you've got the super narrative, and then you've got the speech narrative, and then interchangeable narratives that are inside.
I liked it. I think it read to me almost like that it was made more for a teenage audience. Though I thought it was just maybe a little bit more especially the beginning. But I think the robot's quite infantile as well, so that's why the speech is a little bit like childlike.
Yeah.
So I get that.
It's discovering its way in the world.
Yeah. No, I thought it was a cool kind of premise. I think it's refreshing to see benevolent AI because we do see a lot of the, Terminator coming destroy, and they have to be, iRobot kind of sort of shtick, and I think it's nice to see what that might look like. And I think I'd be interested to see what her book's like.
So what's she doing? She's developing this into...
Yeah, it's called Cat Fishing on the Catnet, I think it's called, the title of the book. It's about these teenagers that interact with each other, and one of them's an AI, and they don't realise.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's kind of a cool premise. So I guess they're chatting on Facebook or whatever, and they're not realising it's an AI.
Yeah, okay.
So it'd be interesting. But
so if it's about
for teenagers.
Yeah, so I think maybe that's her target audience. But that's okay.
Possible.
You don't have to have in-depth, philosophical or psychological elements to every single story like this. I think that there is something to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy style of writing, which is written for a younger audience, but has these deep elements to it, which are well worth discussing and engaging with. And they're influential.
I like that kind of creepy narrative voice as well, being just like, I know what you're doing. Because I think it also feeds into our paranoia of the internet, that there is somebody that can watch us through the webcam, can, do that sort of stuff. So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah. It's funny the porn thing as well.
Oh, yeah.
At the start. What does it say?
I know that you watch a lot of porn or something.
Yeah, I know. And there's quite a few things that no one's made of porn yet. Also, I'm really not sure why many humans prefer it to cat pictures. Just confusion as to why.
And also, like, I know about hentai's and stuff like that.
Yeah. So why do humans like porn instead of cat pictures? That's weird to the AI.
Yeah.
It is such an innocent thing to say.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's cool. All right, should we rate it?
Yeah.
Out of cat pictures?
Out of cat pictures.
Yeah. 10
I
out of 10 cat pictures. That's what we'll rate it out of. That's not necessarily, I don't think I'm going to give it 10. I think I'd give it 8 out of 10 cat pictures.
I give it 9.
Yeah, you really like it?
Yeah, I really like it. I like the absurdity of it. I like the aspect of, whether you can be actually benevolent or not, and I think that could be explored further. So I'm really interested actually to read her later work.
Yeah.
And I think it's worthwhile reading.
Awesome. No, I liked it as well. I think it's a refreshing concept. I think that whilst I found the narrative voice maybe a little bit childish at times, it kind of fits in with the character. I liked the idea of, how much can you help people? Because it's a question I sometimes ask as well, as someone that often does get probably a bit too involved in other people's business.
Cats, yeah.
And cats.
Yeah.
No, but, it's like, well, should I take another cat on? I have to make those decisions all the time.
Yeah.
And there's not really any benefit. Except for to the cat. And that I feel better. So I guess to me, it's if I've been asked, right? Because, like, I obviously could go out to the streets and grab one of those cats. Any cat, right? Yeah. But I don't. But if someone says, can you do this? Then it's one more degree.
It's a reaction to the other person. Yeah.
Exactly. So you want to do both.
Yeah.
And, and I try not to ask too much of other people for that same reason. Yeah, excellent. All right. So next week we're going to do a kind of similar but different story, which is sort of about a building in a post-apocalyptic scenario that still runs on the kind of AI aspects without people being around. Apocalyptic. So this is Ray Bradbury's Softly Comes the Rain.
Okay.
I think it's called.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
It's going to be cool. And then we'll organise some sort of schedule after that as well. It's been a bit week by week at the moment.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
We're going to do some games soon. We definitely need to amp the game.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of stories.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
If any suggestions, and we're going to definitely reach out. I'm going to send Naomi a message and just say, check out our podcast. So maybe she'll have some feedback for us.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope she enjoys our critique of it. In closing, enjoy the cat empire's misery, which fits into the miserable aspect of the humans in this story. And it's by the cat empire.
Yay.
So it's a simple pun. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.
Have you ever been so happy that you said that the lines turn to stars and the stars become eyes and the lows are goodbyes and the laughs are the sides and the show disappears with a note until next time?